about peace studies, what we consider peace studies, because peace studies is actually relatively new in Africa, but it emerged from the West. And the reality is that we depend so much on this Western centric conceptualization about peace studies, and we are not being able to adequately integrate African realities into the conceptualization of peace studies, which is very important because it has to fit into our realities. And these gatherings, we realize that we have people from various African countries, African regions. We have people from DRC, from Congo, from South Africa, from Kenya, from Nigeria, and other countries. So we have the opportunity to consider various emerging African realities. Issues about climate change now that was discussed, part of a very topical issues, and we see how it is affecting Africa. For example, before I came here from Nigeria, we have serious issues of flooding, which is affecting. So I was surprised when I was watching the TV here. I saw too that there have been issues about flooding, which is affecting some regions. So how do we link it to issues of climate change, issues about conflict, issues about effort towards build peace? We know the reality in Africa is that the peace we have, can we say, like how my brother here, Dr. Moses said in the beginning, that here in Sudan you have relative peace. But the reality in most African countries, like the peace we have, can we say it is positive? Because when we talk about peace, we must understand what does peace entails in both its positive and negative connotation. Because even when everything seems peaceful, there might not necessarily be peace. And that's why we need to understand. So let us consider these emerging issues. Also, issues about gender, which loom large in peace studies. We need to consider how does gender fit into emerging realities when we look at the weapons of war now, the tactics of harm groups, and looking at our cultural, historical, and cultural realities in Africa, which is what? Patriarchal in the sense that male dominate the socio-economic and political aspects of our societies. So we need to also consider issues about conflict, like issues of security in the Sharia and so on. So there are various emerging issues that we can consider. And what will be the outcome of this, our gathering, our conference? As researchers, as scholars here, as civil society practitioners, we should consider how we can bring together all these issues, our realities in form of evidence-based empirical research that we can gather together and consider very good publication outlets that can give us a voice to expressing some of the challenges we are feeling, and also how it can be impactful in how we can, be able to get the attention of policymakers who can both national, regional, and globally. So I would like all of us here to bring out issues we think are very, very relevant and vital to our contemporary realities, even how it's also linked to our historical realities and how it continues to shape our present realities. So thank you. So if there is any, thank you.
Thank you very much. My communication is going to be at two levels. One at what I think issues we can bring on board on the table. And secondly, I will talk about also the methodology and the approach we have to take as an African organization. I was thinking Would you talked about the climate change, but also I was thinking about the threat and traffic of human, especially girls, sexual exploitation and abuse of girls. This has been phenomenal, and unfortunately, our region also is again a victim of this. Women from Eastern Congo, Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania are being recruited and exploited to South Arabia, the US, UK, and Northern Europe as house workers. But when they reach there, they are exposed to pornography, they are used as slaves, and most of them has been killed, and has been also become state issues. The government of Kenya is working on top of that. Even also the government of Burundi is following up those issues, and and my government has become now is no longer the issues of civil organization or human rights organizations. But what is really now shocking me to see that what we think they are human rights organizations, and they make noise on other issues, but they are not even mentioning human Human Rights Watch and other and Amnesty. Really shameful to see that. I don't see this in their publication, but this now at the state level. That's number one. Number two, gender and human rights. Gender and human rights, as you know, talking about, I don't know the reality of West Africa, but in